Welcome back everyone to episode 3 of Let's Play Rule the Waves as Austria-Hungary. Very good comments so far on the first video. I haven't seen comments on the second video yet, but first of all, Erzherzog means Archduke, which should make sense since it's Archduke Franz Ferdinand, who will soon be murdered and create World War I. Actually, this is alternate history, so I guess that never really comes to pass. So we'll pass 1913, was that in? 1914? I forget. We'll probably pass that year without really any of those events happening. But that's fine. We'll be at war with Italy, which is it's a small dimension of World War I at least. At least that's the hope. So other good comments were, because our main forces are always going to be in the Mediterranean, we could actually consider using low freeboard. And also, people were talking about cramped accommodations. They told me that the cramped accommodations only has an unrest modifier if you're outside your home area. So these are really important things that, it almost makes me want to restart. So if you are trying to do an Austria-Hungary campaign, this is my recommendation. For your designs, instead of doing what I have done, I highly recommend that you choose, for your short-range ships at least, so the Monarch, not the best example, but my Franz Ferdinand here, it would really do well with its short range actually having low freeboard, mainly because, although this, it makes a huge difference, 500 tons, the reason why you don't want to do that is just because it restricts the speed to, I think, 20 or 21 knots, and also your ship performs poorly in bad weather conditions. But the Mediterranean is a pretty stable weather environment, so you can actually take advantage of the low freeboard. It's one of the few nations, I would say, who actually can do that. On top of that, you can also go down and do cramped accommodations since you won't be leaving port with your short-range ships. Now, the combination of these two things, you can see it gave us 1,000, it's like almost 1,000 tons of more free space. So that's my recommendation. However, we won't be able to take advantage of those facts until later in the game, just because, just because we set ourselves up poorly. It's not really that poor. It's not a big deal. We'll call it more of a challenge. That, yeah, our ships will be slightly less min-max perfect, which will drive me nuts when I try to sleep at night. But other than that, I think we'll be okay. So let's keep advancing turns. Thanks for all those comments, by the way, and keep them coming, because the more you teach me, the better I play, and also the more knowledge we can pass on to other people, which is great. So here we go. Let's see what else happens. Hopefully we go to war with Italy soon. Now our crews are already deemed proficient in the new tactics, which, look at that, is just right in time. Oh, very good. Central firing on our ships already. I think we're getting pretty lucky with our research so far. Now, we don't like Russia at all. We will definitely send a diplomatic note, because I think this reduces prestige. Yeah, possibly. I think the parentheses means it either has less than 1 effect on your prestige, maybe 0.5, or it has a chance to have an impact on your prestige. What else do we have going on? I don't see... Oh my gosh! Our hoarding has been caught by the finance ministry. Okay, it's very true. So first thing we're going to do is kick up our intel to high on everyone, which has a possibility of producing some new techs for us. The next thing we're going to do is start building some more ships. And you know what? With all this money, why not go ahead and design a new ship? We have this 18,000 dock size. Remember, our treaty is in effect for another, 10 years or so, but certainly war will happen before that. But let's just go ahead and build something at the exact max of the treaty, which will kind of be fun. So yes, let's get one more battleship. Let's have it auto-designed. So now it's saying short. We'll go freeboard low. We'll make the speed 20 because I know that's the max. We'll go cramped. And now let's get this up to 18,000. Actually, maybe it's not a good idea to do this just because, let's clear these turrets. I'm actually not sure Yeah, we don't have the ability to do any interesting turrets. So this may not be a good idea quite yet. We could certainly get a lot of 6-inch guns, and we can actually get some pretty decent armor. Let's see what we might be able to deal with here. I might as well go with belt extended 3. Deck of 2, deck extended. Let's do deck 2.5, deck of 2. Conning tower, massive. You can see we're still doing well, which is pretty surprising. We don't need to take the turrets up too much because with only 2 turrets, let's update that, I'm not so worried about them being attacked. Okay, turret top. Again, I'm just going to leave this around 2.5 because it's probably more than it already needs, and we're not expecting to be engaged from the top. So, if this does last long enough that it ends up being one of our battleships into like the 1910s, we might just have to be a little careful about who we engage. Okay, so you can see that actually, with the central firing and all this stuff, this is going to be a fantastic. It doesn't look like we can even take advantage of all the space that we technically have made for ourselves. I'm not going to make tertiary guns. Okay, the max we can get is 12 per side, so we'll just do that. It's very interesting. So let's just take the range down until we get to something which matches. Okay. 1670, yeah, 16,700. This will decrease the cost a little bit. And I think that that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and go for it. Why not, right? I'm going to remove these. Actually, I'll move these torpedoes, which means we'll probably be able to get this down to 16,600. Okay, 1 off. We'll just lower that. Perfect. Is there anything I'm missing here? It's a very solid ship. So look at that. We were actually able to build a better battleship. Let's not. The RPAD, I really like that name, so I actually want to save that for one of our later designs. The Bobenberg. Yeah, that's fine with me. Okay, so this has cramped accommodations. Understood. Short range. Low freeboard. Yeah, basically it's complaining about everything. But that's okay. I think this is a reasonable ship. It's certainly going to be a pretty solid battleship. Not too slow either. Speed of 20 is decent. I prefer 21 later, but for now, 20 is fine. Okay, let's save and actually just go ahead and build this thing. Now, I kind of like the initial cost because this is actually going to help us not lose as much money immediately. And these battleships will probably eventually retire all the non-Babenberg battleships. Specifically, even the Monarch classes will probably also be retired, but definitely probably the Franz Ferdinands, because the maintenance cost isn't that different. Now, what is the maintenance cost going to be on these new ships? That's a good question. 254, so really not much worse. We were already dealing with 240, and you know, these aren't that much better than the Monarchs, but it's something. Okay, we can probably do something similar with the heavy cruisers, but I don't see any reason to at this point. We're probably fine just because I don't think they'll be collecting as much money. Make the nation national hero. Let's see. Yeah, they're not collecting any more money, so we're in good shape. We'll build those 4 battleships. That should tie us until the next war, at least. Speaking of that war, I don't think that they'll listen to us. Let's do an international force. Okay, that's fine. I don't know really what's the effect of the first 2 besides much higher tension, I think, that would imply directly with the United States, or tension rising with everyone. I'm not exactly sure, though. Yeah, that's another thing we could do. I saw that Germany in that pop-up is actually refitting their ships with central firing. That's also a good idea for us to do. So you know what, let's just go ahead and rebuild, open design for rebuild, and let's just switch to central firing. We can get around this small increase just by reducing the rounds per gun by 1. So let's save this as the new Monarch. And how much of a cost is it going to be? Not very much, especially because we have already built up pretty high funds. The bigger issue here is it's only 4 months. That's important. If it was 8 months or something like that, we might be at war with Italy when we need these things involved. But since I think we can make it 4 months, I'm going to go ahead and rebuild all of them. I'm not going to worry about the Franz Ferdinand one. We only have one type of ship of that class. So this is just going to be my low maintenance kind of... it can collect barnacles in the harbor for all I care. Okay, it's without doubt Italy, and now we're going to go to war. No, we have one more turn. Good still. Yeah, good. Very good. 7-inch guns are superior. Our 5-inch guns are better though. Oh no. Yes, that's true. Good. I'd rather 5-inch guns than 7-inch guns, so that's good. We are learning quite a lot. I'm still waiting for us to actually get some kind of espionage event where we steal technology. That would be fantastic. Okay, all of our reconstruction is finished. Yeah, we'll sell this to the British government. Normally that's the last person you want to sell to, but yeah, actually no, we are not going to do this. I would sell to almost anybody else, but Great Britain is the one nation I fear. Wow. Oh my gosh. 3 additional battleships, huh? Well, I don't mind doing that. So let's just go ahead and say, of course, sir. And let's get 3 more of our new... I already forgot the name. Bobbenbergs. Let's get 3 more Bobbenbergs. It's within the budget, so I'm fine with it. Okay, I don't know why we're focused over there. This is where we belong, in the Mediterranean. Okay, we still haven't actually gone to war with Italy. And it'll be a long time before these ships are finished. One thing you can also do to decrease your monthly balance, I mean, you can build more ships, right? But we could speed up, we could accelerate the production of these. I don't think it's necessary. I'm fine with exactly things the way they are, so. Okay, Angola. I don't really want Angola as much, but we'll send a force anyway. Damn. Oh, and now we're at war. Okay, well, very good. Coastal bombardment. Well, I don't think we'll decline the very first action of the game, so why not give it a go? Although I might have to pause this video if, you know, we run on too much longer. I want to keep these in the 20 to 30 minute range, and certainly don't want to go above 40 minutes per video. But we'll go ahead and accept this, and thus begins our, hopefully, our domination of the Mediterranean. Okay, so we have a light cruiser division out in front. We have our heavy cruiser, some destroyers mingled very closely. Oh god. We don't have any heavy ships here except for a heavy cruiser. That is not good. That is really not good, because I'm sure they outnumber us in heavy cruisers. Let's find this target. Where's the target? Here. Okay, that's fine. I think that's fine. I'm sure that Italy has a navy between us and our bombardment target, but we're not going to take that into concern. We're just going to go charge right at... and if I get my destroyers sunk, that's really not a problem. So we'll get this guy to go squad max and lead the way. And let me just go ahead and advance. Oh yeah, I have to make sure that this is lined up. I'm forgetting all my old rule the waves, rule the waves, ways. All the ways you have to do these different things. Let's do this, and now I think we should probably come into contact, I'm guessing, with the enemy pretty soon. Okay, so that destroyer split off, so it's easier to see. Actually, it's all my destroyers. Okay, very good. And my light cruisers. My heavy cruiser, if it gets sunk, it's kind of a bonus too, because this is not the best ship. We have only 9-inch guns. So if we come up against another heavy cruiser that has more than 4 inches of armor, we're probably not in a winning fight. Okay. Let's reduce our... I don't want to see the torpedo range. We know it's just really, really, really tiny. The squad max for these guys is only 23. and it's a lot easier to burn out your coal burner engines, so we'll be a little bit careful about advancing full speed. I think I'm just going to go up to 18. I'm going to let the destroyers... Okay, we'll send them at 23. Question, is the... No, the sea conditions are fine. It's calm, winds, a little bit out of the west-southwest, which means that any enemy we encounter heading in this direction will be upwind of us, which is good. So our smoke will head away from us, and their smoke will kind of obstruct their vision. Let's just keep going in a normal manner here. In fact, maybe I should up the speed to fast. I think I'm going to have to make an adjustment soon. Okay. We still want to win these battles, right? Even though I'm not worried about the ships being sunk. That's only partially true because you still want to retain your victory points. And the public doesn't really understand that my destroyers are worthless. They still see the loss of life as, you know, a tragic occurrence. They're so naive, though, the innocent public, thinking that my destroyers mean anything. I mean, with a fair bit of luck, we can just go over to the bombardment target, take it out, and call this mission to a close. I highly doubt it'll be that simple, though. Why... Oh, okay, first of all, why are you not pausing there? Why is this group moving so much faster? I don't know why I did that. Ideally, we kind of want these guys to group up, I would say, really tightly. So let's go down to 16. Let's take these guys down to 16 as well. The idea is let's group up tightly so that we can bring the full brunt of our force, to bear if we find any targets. There we go. Not surprisingly, a ship is sighted. This looks like a minesweeper or a small ship. We will still react as if it's everybody. So my destroyers are going to lead the way. If nothing else, they will alert wherever the main fleet is to our presence. So the light cruisers who are currently in formation, I'm going to let them continue as they're going. Hopefully I don't need them. Everyone else is going to turn south as if that's our main threat. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. These light cruisers are... What are they doing? I didn't change your formation or anything. Why are you doing that? I'm thoroughly confused. Okay, since they're changing their formation by default anyway, I'm just going to go into line ahead formation with them. But their goal is still to stay on target. I'm going to sneak them off and hopefully bombard our bombardment target with them. And the rest of my ships are just going to head down in this kind of line abreast formation. Like individually line ahead, but formationally line abreast. Okay, there's our ship. It is some kind of transport. Very good. So we can even get out with a small kill. I want not to fire torpedoes, but this would be a good practice for our gunnery crews. The very first volleys of our campaign, of our reign under Admiral Tortuga, and that is not good. Okay, now we have cause to be concerned. So, destroyers to full speed. We're still going to try to actually attack with torpedoes, but if nothing else, these guys can go and obscure the heavy cruisers. Now, I need to know what I'm actually dealing with here. If it's actually a heavy cruiser, we're in trouble. But if there's even a chance that it's just a light cruiser and being misidentified, we need to know that as soon as possible. Oh, okay. Okay, they've chosen to go this way. Yeah, I think at this point we no longer choose to bring this one over to the bombardment target. Let's just win this fight first. I'm going to pull my destroyers back a little bit more. I want this fight to go in this direction, northwest to southeast, because that puts me upwind of them. I'm sorry, downwind of them. They'll be upwind of us. And that's what I prefer. So these destroyers, they're fine doing whatever they're doing, but it's really the heavy cruiser and the light cruiser here who I want eventually to form a line. So let's go ahead and get that underway. Okay, we have actually identified this as the heavy cruiser. But they only have 4 8-inch guns. Now they do have 5-inch belt, which is definitely superior to mine. Let's just compare this. 5, 1.5, 5, 2.5, and 6. And they probably have more than one. 5, 1.5, 5, 2.5, 6. If I remember correctly. I would say that it's even. It's pretty even. We're going to be penetrating their 5 from 5,000 yards away. So what is the distance to target right now? Just inside of max range. No. Just inside of vision range. So 5,000 has got to be pretty darn close. Interesting. One, two, three, four. I think they have 4 heavy cruisers in this line, possibly 5. So what I think we're going to do is these light cruisers are still going to go off to the bombardment target. We're just going to do some delaying action with the rest of my light cruisers. Now, unfortunately, I guess we will have to go this way, unfortunately, because we don't want to lose sight of these guys. They'll go to AI control. So that means we're kind of trapped. I don't want to fight them, but we might end up having to fight them. Okay, well, let's go this way. If we're heading directly west, that should be fine. Okay, the CL is a Toronto class. What does that mean? Great, so the light cruisers we're not worried about. We should be able to outgun those. Wait, how many 4-inch guns do they have? Okay, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they have 7 per side. That is pretty good. Huh. Nonetheless, our 9-inch guns are the longest range guns on the battlefield. Actually, the 8-inch guns technically are 100 yards further, but it's about the same. So we'll know that when they're getting in range just because of the St. George. And our mission is still just to destroy the bombardment targets, so that's what we're going to try to do. This is chaos. They have so many heavy cruisers. They have a Marco Polo class as well. No, that's identical, but I thought it was a different... Yeah, Amalfi class, wasn't it? Both of their classes are identical. Okay, well. One-on-one, I would give our heavy cruiser about even odds, but since it's like 8 to 1, we will try to avoid contact. If their light cruisers get close, that's fine. We'll engage. But okay, it doesn't look like this is going to go well for us. They look like they're going to come and attack. So what I'm going to do is activate torpedo run. Yeah, and just put these guys on AI control. Maybe that will encourage a torpedo run, and hopefully, true to a lot of the tactics in this time, a torpedo run is usually all it took to get the enemy to disengage. We'll see if that's true. Okay, I don't know. St. George is in good position though. I think a speed of 18 is good. If we're all going to speed of 18, we have a good battle line. They're coming in at a pretty good angle though. It's like they know to slowly close. That is so many frickin' ships. How many, oh my gosh, how many ships is that? It's like an armada. You could walk across the ocean on these ships. Just stepping from ship to ship. Probably all the way across the... Is this the Toronto Sea? I forget. No, it's not. It's the... I'm sorry. I apologize. I know I should know this, but I don't. Don't remember. Because Toronto is down here. I don't remember what the sea is called. It's really embarrassing. Hey, that's okay. This is the nice point where someone corrects me in the comments and then I learn or I remember. Well, we're about to get hosed. This is about to go down. I don't know how we're going to successfully engage this. There's probably a good argument to be made here just to avoid the target entirely. So you guys, please go flank speed. Just get to the target, bombard, and get out. Actually, I'm going to need you... Forget about the damn target. We'll take the victory point hit. This is massive. A massive, massive engagement. It's so incredibly outnumbered. Okay, well, we got the first hit. That's something. Something to write home about. Let's begin to pull away slightly. It only makes sense that we don't try to engage hard. Might still be able to get to that target. The important thing is these firing lines. I'm expecting that to show me who is firing at me. We are firing a lot right now, including at the Amalfi class, who is firing at us, that is not a good engagement for our light cruisers to be opening up against their heavy cruisers. But we should be able to take a few hits before we die. The idea here is, hopefully, I think our ships are actually interfering with each other smoke-wise. How's your firing? Good. It's not... There's no disadvantage for us right now. That's good. We just can't win this, though. We just can't... Look at this. We can't win this. And I have absolutely no idea how to do this. Taking our first hit from the heavy cruiser, of course. And this makes sense. We don't have any chance of surviving this. I don't even think we have the ability to deploy smoke. What are our destroyers doing? I feel like they're lining themselves up for an attack, but they're not attacking yet. And just, this is overwhelming. There's so many ships. This is like the Battle of Helgoland I think we just saw. I ship name that. It's impossible for us to win this. Okay, so we curve down. This is going to force these ships to make a decision. I like that. I think we just run across them this way. It's kind of weird, but I think this is useful. A non-penetrating hit, thank God, although it does say it is acting like a hit. They count it as damage, even though it doesn't say it penetrated. Huh. Okay, yeah, I'm going to run my cruisers back over the lines just to kind of disrupt their formation. It's going to disrupt our formation, but that's not a big deal. We want to disrupt their formation. Okay, and this is good. We should be getting broadsides off against the front of their ships, and let's see how they react to this strange maneuver. I'm really flying blind here. I've never faced... This is insane. I mean, I have how many ships total? Maybe 12? 14? Less than 20. This is like 30 ships. I mean, they have a distinct advantage. I don't know what you guys are even doing. I put you on AI control with torpedo launching, and you're just... I have no idea what you're doing. Okay, a near miss. Unfortunately, we're not getting any hits. So all this is for nothing. All this... I've kept us on a straight course just to prevent us from doing any turning. The Aspern is not in a very good situation. Okay, they're turning up. That's not the way I was hoping. Even if we have a collision, I'm not that worried. Okay, I don't know how to say that, but the Ziegetsvar is heading the wrong way. That's really not good. Okay, let's go one more turn and turn up. We are hitting their ships. This is with the St. George as well, so that's good. But what are you doing, Ziegetsvar? You're so trapped. Well, this is good though. In one way, this is good because we were just trying to cause disruption in their lines, and that is one thing we were doing, for sure. Causing disruption in their lines. There's two things we could do at this point. We could turn away and just hope that we can actually escape, or we can kind of pursue this as an advantage. I guess I'm going to pursue this as an advantage, which doesn't seem like the right thing to do, but I don't know what else to do. Yeah, we definitely have caused some chaos in their formation, but this formation is chaos just because it's huge. My gosh. The good news is we are slowly making our way closer to the bombardment target. So we'll just stay on target. Stay on target. Okay, Leopard got hit. I don't know if that was mine because it showed a star penetrating hit. There's the Leopard. Did we launch torpedoes? Did they actually launch? I didn't pay attention. I don't see any torpedo launch. There's the hit. Ah, there. Launching torpedoes. Very good. I'm happy about that. That is what they were assigned to do. So, very good. And the chances of that hitting something are pretty good. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely nuts though. Look at the... Look at the Siegfried. What a hero. What a bad boy. He's like, I don't care. I'm just going to go right through the entire Italian formation. I don't care. And we actually hit an Amalfi with a torpedo. That's fantastic. I'm not sure what torpedoes are going to do. There's two ways to look at torpedoes this early on. One, they are not very effective because they don't have a lot of explosive power. But two, ships were not defended for torpedo attacks, so even the smaller explosion would do a little bit more damage. We'll find out basically from this heavy cruiser how the torpedoes are. And we're actually getting a few hits on the San Marco, which is fantastic. Both our 6-inch and our 9-inch guns, which should both be penetrating. I mean, what is our range to target right now at this point? Yeah, 3,000 yards. So anything we hit with, even 6-inch guns, I'm pretty sure are going to penetrate. That's very good. So we might pull this off yet. I like how the Siegfried has decided to create its own flotilla now. It's its own division. I respect that. He's gone through hell and back, and, well, he's almost back. He's allowed to be his own division. These guys should all be launching torpedoes, though. The whole point was to get more than just these destroyers to launch torpedoes. I see that that wasn't the case. And we had a few more torpedoes in here. I have absolutely no idea where they are, but obviously they haven't, we haven't hit with anybody else. That's okay. This is early on. Weapons are not so accurate, so we shouldn't expect too much. Okay, so this is probably the first loss, the Siegfried. Machinery disabled is not what you want to see. So that's going to mean she's going to come to a dead stop. On top of that, a turret was disabled. Would she get hit from a heavy cruiser? Yeah. Not too surprising. Okay, well, how do we play this through? Because no matter how I see it, even if we launch some torpedoes and get some hits like that, I don't know how we're going to come out with a victory here. Like, I'm still making our way to a bombardment target, but the point is that bombardment target is actually going to aid them. I'm sure it's probably a coastal gun, which means it's one more gun we're going to have to face. That's kind of suicidal. Let's take stock of the situation in terms of retreat. The max speed of their heavy cruiser is 20. That's really good for us. That means we can't outrun them. Oh, they have an Elba class. These all seem to be identical. This one's a little weaker, in fact. Also 20 knots. And even their light cruisers only have a max speed of 21. So the good news is we can retreat. We can retreat. Let's go ahead and kick everyone into max, squad max, and start kind of employing that retreat option. Now, unfortunately, I don't think the Sigurdsvar is going to make it, but she's done a noble job just tanking through everything. In fact, what I'm going to do is set her on AI controlled, with the hope being that she actually launches torpedoes before she sinks. Okay, well, we're still hitting this Amalfi class, but I don't know what it's doing. Does it record any damage? No. But they are turning away, so maybe this is a success after all. I don't know. Oh, we launched more torpedoes, it looks like. I'm not concerned about losing our destroyers, even if it means that we end up losing this fight, so to speak. If they end up sinking, the chance of them actually sinking a ship is so... it's so worth it to risk them, I think. Basically, that's the end of our destroyers, I think. I'm just going to keep them on AI control. I don't have to think about them. We'll swoop over here. If we hit them, some of them, that's great. Panther getting pummeled now. I will say one thing about the Austria-Hungarians. They have a brave bunch of destroyer captains. Yeah, I don't know what these guys are doing. I doubt they even have any torpedoes left. No, actually, this one has all of its torpedoes left. And they're definitely in torpedo launch line abreast formation. The Sigurdsvar is actually doing some work against this Naval class. How exciting. Okay, so we're getting close to our bombardment target, which... I haven't identified yet, I guess. They're going to run into a problem here. I mean, we are too, but this is intentional. So we want to turn down a little bit more so that we can swing up and around and then out. After that, we're just out of here. We are going to retreat north, which is going to take us close to our Ancona, but I don't have any other retreat path until we can get kind of curve around over to Spalato. That'll be my operation. So I'm actually going to call this video to a close here. We'll pick it up in the next episode right where we left off, right at this point. So I hope you enjoyed the first part of this engagement. It's really David versus Goliath, one heavy cruiser versus, maybe 10 or so, but I think so far we've held off well. I have no idea what's the result from the original hit we have on this Amalfi class. I don't think it's going to sink, unfortunately. And if I had any ability to control these destroyers, I would ask them to go back and finish her off. But hey, we know where she is. Maybe when we swing around, maybe we'll come by and just try to finish her off. I mean, I doubt we'll have the option, but it's something to think about. Anyways, thanks for watching this episode, and I'll catch you in the next one.